Hello, welcome back to the normal podcast, episode 2.
Today we are coming to you from
Mammoth Mountain.
We're literally sitting on Mammoth Mountain on one of the really slow runs. We came here because we thought it was going to be not very crowded, but
suddenly everyone decided they want to come down. So
yeah,
apparently social anxiety fears us.
apparently. We've been skiing all day with our microphones in our pockets because we planned to do this like near lunchtime when we were feeling a little bit tired, which is exactly what I'm feeling right now.
And we'll tell you why. So our catch-up this week, we just did a podcast like 5 days ago, so we don't have much to talk about, but we'll just tell you what we've been doing on our mammoth trip for a quick catch-up, and then we'll get into our topic, which is
How to Hygge.
Our
guide to cozy
which
vibes.
we thought our guide to cozy vibes, which we thought is very appropriate for the snow.
Get into the catch-up. Right now we got here on Sunday,
and it's now Wednesday, so we've been here for this is our third day. We skied a half day on Sunday, so we've skied a full 3 days so far, and we have one more half day to go.
And it's been
We're leaving
very,
tomorrow
very
morning.
fun. The only obstacle for me is just mind to muscling and breaking through my tiredness, because obviously I have a very set routine of lots of resting and doing mostly mental work, not physical work.
Yeah.
So when we're on the slopes for multiple hours, I get really tired after a couple hours, and then I can't control my skis.
Just people passing by. Anyway, yeah.
Oh my gosh, the sun coming through right here is so
It's pine cone.
There's pine cones all over. I'm pretty
Pine
sure there's
trees,
a little
like this
squirrel up that tree.
This is crazy because it's also 80 degrees at the beach right now, but also we're shredding on some snow on Mammoth Mountain, and they're an hour away from each other. I'm just getting 6 hours or so. But back to our topic.
Also, don't mind my eyes. I have a little bit of
she has conjunctivitis
case on my eye,
but it's going away.
Yeah, it's going away.
Also, if you didn't notice, just a little digression for our hobbies. We're both wearing our hand knit sweaters.
Yep, I can't remember what this is called. I think
this is just a reindeer sweat, or just a random vintage Vogue pattern from a really long time ago. I did a whole podcast segment on it, so you can go back and watch if you want.
We both talked about these. We talked about both these sweaters
but
in our
this
podcast,
is
in our knitting
so
podcast.
Apropos, look at this. The pine trees and my pine sweater. So on the first day we got here, skied a half day. That was a pretty smooth transition
we're having a
into
vlog
skiing.
about this, so I don't want to go too in detail. You're gonna see it in the vlog. But
so just
basically,
a quick
we've
story
had
time.
a pretty good time so far until today.
There were some struggles. Okay, so today, just right now, literally 15 minutes ago, our brother Cormac fell on his shoulder or his clavicle, somewhere in between the clavicular process or something, and broke it. That's what we think, because he can't move his arm at all, and he was about to barf and pass out. So he's at the hotel room. He's probably not gonna be able to ski anymore, which is really sad because this is our last half day. So kind of
it's kind of just a bummer. And he was
kind of a bummer.
He was gonna not snowboard, and then he decided to switch to snowboarding, and that happened. So it's kind of just real
annoying. Yeah, because he was
shredding.
He was good at skiing.
Skiing. He's better than us. He's super fast.
It's because he does jujitsu and skateboarding and stuff, so he's not as scared of getting hurt as I am. I'm scared of going fast.
Yeah, he's not.
I've been
not scared to go fast, and he's also very coordinated. He can really he knows where to put his weight and stuff,
because he has
that kind of
and
practice.
He literally goes to skateboard every single day and falls on asphalt and doesn't care. So
here's Emma
and Hannah are coming. It is a vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, just say some prayers. Hopefully he heals fast of whatever it is. There's not a hospital on the mountain, so we're gonna have to take him into the village if we want to see if it's broken or not. But yeah, just pray for him
in your prayers.
And other than that, I fell flat on my face the first day, and Cormac actually, I don't know if he got it on film or he was watching. I literally fell so hard on my face, and I thought I broke my knee. But I've been getting better. I've been learning to realize that
going fast
is fun. It's
not
also scary.
More relaxing, because if I just let myself go down the hill, it's just letting gravity take you down.
If you're just thinking it's chill, I'm going fast, we're chilling. And if you look at the videos, I don't even look like I'm going fast. But me, I feel like I'm going fast, so then I'm freaking out.
And the problem is that you're thinking because you're going fast or going fast, you think you have to be thinking fast, right, but you really don't.
Your body just reacts.
You're still just it's still slow movement. Even when you're going fast, it's still just right,
yeah,
left, Right. It's not like that much different than going slow. It's just easier on your muscles.
Yeah, and on our third day here, the mood is kind of slow. Like
I've been so tired today.
Yeah, today was has been the most tiring day. Like my body just feels very exhausted because we get on the slopes at like 8:39 and we stay until 4.
out until 4, and it's very fun and like,
But it's just like
but it's exhausting. Definitely
lift,
exhausting.
ski, lift, ski, lift, ski.
And
back
we all
to
go to
back.
bed pretty early, but last night we went to bed a little bit later because we watched Molly's Game. Which I don't know if
That
you've
movie's
ever seen
intense.
That movie. It's intense, so it kept me up a little bit, and also
just watching intense movies like that before I go to bed always kind of.
But it has poker and skiing in it, and we've been playing poker on this trip, so we were
with like quarters and
matching the vibes. Which that's kind of what this podcast topic is going to be about, because it's all about just
creating vibes.
I
mean, that's what our podcast in general is about.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, we watched Molly's Game last night, and then the other night we played poker, which was fun, and we made real hot chocolate last night. Which
Ronan did mostly.
This is a great segue into the topic of the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
How to Hygge. Okay,
How to Hygge.
So basically just embrace life as it comes.
Mm-hmm.
It's always worth it to create a vibe.
Uh-huh.
For example, I'm sitting in the snow right now filming a podcast, and I'm not caring that this guy is literally staring at us right now as he snowboards down the hill.
Also, another thing that relates to that, make plans to be spontaneous. You know, like set aside
time where it's like,
have
okay,
like a list maybe on your notes app or in your journal, whatever, of like random little cozy things you can do when you have that extra time.
And I know people hear the word spontaneous and they think like, oh, I have to go like ski a black or something.
Yeah, like you have to go
like, I have to go do something crazy. No, I mean be spontaneously cozy, be spontaneously just indulgent, like kind of like let yourself rest. Oh my gosh, there's a whole group right here. And oh my gosh. But really, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just put aside time so that you can do whatever you want. Because with school, and for me, school and work and homework and family obligations, YouTube, all these obligations.
If I was just doing the things as they came and not thinking about and not trying to prioritize vibes, then I would just spend all my time doing school or procrastinating doing school.
And by the word vibes, we mean like filling your cup, doing what makes you happy. They make everyday life less hard to get through, and especially as Lent is coming up,
romanticizing, like taking the moment to romanticize it and to just make it like the most
it can be, like saturate your days
and enjoyable that it can be.
And I know you're probably laughing at us as we're saying this from the mountain, like this privileged vibe. And yes, I can see that. Like, yeah, we can get fun stuff like
obviously, being in a setting like this, it's a lot easier. But during like day-to-day life, when you have to go to campus from 8 to 2, and then you have to come back and go to work at 6, like there's going to be very little time for you to chill.
But so you have to set a time you have to set aside those times to vibe and chill. And basically,
you have to have a mindset of like, okay, I'm switching out of doing stuff, and now I'm going to let myself just live, even if it's just for like a half hour, to start a movie and have a snack, you know?
Yeah. And this is not exclusive to weekends.
It's or the end of the day. You can
or the end of the day,
dab, middle of the day. Take 2 hours to yourself. I mean, obviously not everyone can do that, but like if you're a student, you can come back from school, take 2 hours after school to just chill, and then get into homework or go to work, whatever else you have to do. Or you can do it at the end of the day. For me personally, it's hard to, if I leave my vibes just for the weekend and for the end of the day, I'll just be so tired that I won't do anything. I'll just go lay on my bed.
I just want to nap. I just want to look at my phone. I don't want to do anything that's really creative or anything that's actually gonna long term fill my cup. I'm pretty strict about resting, so take it. And I wasn't always this way. Okay, I had to get this way because I used to be a productivity addict, and that's a podcast story for another day. I used to just be all into getting stuff done, doing the most I can. That's what I thought everything was about. And then I realized life is for living. Lots of people coming down. We have lots of people.
Yeah. But yeah, life is for living, and you need to take all the little parts of your day where you're dreading doing work, or where you're burnt out, or where you're procrastinating doing work. Just instead of being like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and think about how I don't want to do this thing, just sit here and do something, chill, and take your mind off it, and then you'll be restored and ready and inspired to get into something else.
And let's start getting into some examples, because I feel like we need
in theory, this is okay, but like
but we need some practical examples. So,
So
first off,
something that we've been doing is Monday movies, where every Monday we go to work at 6:30, and we finish school at around
noon, 1.
noon, 1. We have
After
to work
working
out,
out.
so we probably don't get downstairs to watch a movie until like 3, and then we'll just watch a movie, knit, do our hobbies, and then go to work at
And
6.
it's Marvel movies, which those always pull through. I mean,
and personally for us, we love to watch movies like that fit to the season in our life, or just the season in general. Like,
yeah. So for winter, we're gonna give you some recommendations. Winter, you can watch No Reservations.
great rom-com.
I don't know who the actors are in it. They're
It's
probably
Catherine
famous.
Zeta-Jones and
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent from
Whoever plays Harvey Dent
from Dark Knight. I don't know his real name in real life.
It's such a
So wholesome, so cozy
winter,
snowy chef, just the perfect
cooking, baking
rom-com for
Just
this
make
time
yourself
of year.
a little cookie and watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have all the vibes.
Mm-hmm. So that movie you could watch, like, I mean, I have so many, but I can't think of them right now. It's so sad. Period pieces like Enola Holmes, Sense and Sensibility,
Enola Holmes,
Pride and
great one.
Prejudice, Emma, all of those are just great, cozy vibes. And the great thing about them is that they're books first, so you can start them and like watch them in chapters, and it's a great time.
So if you don't have 2 hours like we do, I know that's a pretty nice schedule we got.
And sometimes we don't have 2 hours. Like, we'll just start it before we go to work, and then we'll
come
finish
back
it.
and we'll eat our ice cream that we got from work while finishing our movie, which
And
is
see,
also
that's another thing. Like, instead of just being like, okay, I'm gonna go to work, get done, eat my ice cream, go to bed, we try to we bring our ice cream home, and then like
it's like either way you're gonna be spending time eating your ice cream.
Yeah.
So might as well watch a little show, chat, do whatever vibey thing you have to do. Fun. There's a little families coming by with their little kids on skis.
And that's exactly what I mean. Like, either way you're gonna be doing those things, so you might as well just add a little bit of
spice,
flavor, a little bit of
spice,
and make it more cozy and fun. It really just depends on the time of year it is, because for summer I want to watch more like chick litty vibes, and then for
winter I'm usually in the action mood, so that's why I've been watching Marvel,
either like dystopian or action. So I'll watch like Hunger Games or like obviously Harry Potter. Great for winter. Lent, we always give up watching movies, so that's a whole nother.
So, and that's another reason why we're making this podcast, is because this is either gonna be posted like before or during Lent, and for me, like March to Easter, basically March to April
is a very hard time of the year. It's the hardest time of the year, for sure.
And when we give up screens and it's right before spring, you know spring's coming, but it's still cold outside. Like, honestly, I feel like March is one of the coldest months.
Yeah, sometimes it's like pouring down rain, cloudy.
And it's really, you have exams.
Like midterms, exams. The school semester is really ramping up. Like, all of that is just.
And I know you have all your professors, you have all your workers, your boss, you're
telling you that
you need to work harder.
Life,
this is your time.
You need to study all the time, 24/7.
I'm here to tell you, it's time to prioritize some rest. You do need to do it, but you need to also prioritize your rest and living while you're in the moment, because you don't know if tomorrow's going to come. You don't know what's going to happen. So make the most of life. God gave you life. Treat it as the gift it is. So another way that you can make vibes is warm beverages. My particular beverage of choice is hot chocolate. We covered this in our last podcast. But also
yesterday
tea.
Ronan made from scratch hot chocolate, and it was
he made like the Parisian type of hot chocolate.
He was using the recipe by that little kid on Instagram. I don't know his name, but I love watching his videos. He is such a good chef, and it was so good, so rich, so delicious for just like after you just finished skiing, and it was like 7 o'clock, and I was just chilling, sipping some hot cocoa.
So that's like one way, like you can have a hot cocoa or a tea or something. You can have that like while you're studying.
Afternoon tea or something like that, or like even evening tea if you want to do that. I recommend trying to make time during the day, because that will
kind of get you through the day. Like, okay, I just need to do the morning, and then I get this little vibes time, and then I can do the afternoon. This is more geared towards students, I guess. It can also work for people who work at home or have more of a flexible job.
Yeah.
But if you have like an 8 to 5 out of house, that's a little harder. But
yeah, then obviously you can definitely take advantage of the nighttime, like sunset vibes. I love doing that too. Going outside.
Next one, going outside. And I don't mean like go outside every day, take a walk, like the Batgirl thing. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about sit in the sun and just stare at the blue sky. If it's not blue,
look at how blue the sky is right now. Can we appreciate that? Bluebird Day for real.
Yeah. And just look at the blue sky, look at God's creation. let your thoughts wander, because it can be very overstimulating when you have exams, when you have all these things.
when you have obligations,
Just
when you
let
have whatever your stress is taking up your mind.
And I think it's a very important part of human experience to learn how to think and meditate, sort of meditate on your own. Like, think about higher things, think about your
And I
go
think
into yourself, self-reflection. I feel like that's something that's really brushed by in today's day and age, because
there's so
everyone's
much
distracted by social media,
so much
outwards
content, and
appearances.
even if it is like books or movies or things that are technically enriching and they're good for
it's
you,
still consuming.
it's still consuming and it's still not original. And I think, and I don't know what saint was, but one of the saints said something about like God loves spontaneous prayer, just looking up to him and being
Just like in the moment, being like, okay,
and
either
if
this
you
is
go
hard
back
or
in the
this is
Bible,
awesome. Like,
you'll see that every time before Jesus did anything hard or
he
did
went
something
aside,
monumental, he took a moment and
prayed.
thanked God, prayed. And so that's what we should be doing too, is just taking all the little breaks in between the things you have to do to just
appreciate, be grateful, because I feel like gratitude, it really does make, I know I'm sounding like another one of those people, but gratitude does make everything better, especially when you have a God to be grateful toward.
And yeah, and I've just noticed that for me, especially during busy times, I'll get to the end of the day and be like, I didn't
stop to think or just slow down at all today.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy.
Yeah. And it's hard to be grateful when you don't have time to. You don't even have time to appreciate what's your life, because you're just doing things back to back to back.
So that's just more of like another, like, just slow down. We're just an encouragement to slow down. We all have this problem. Like, you're always trying to get stuff done. You want to seem like you're doing the best. You're doing it all, and it can really be promoted on social media, in life. It can feel like life is about getting stuff done. But it is, and life, to a certain extent, you do have to get stuff done. But you have to get it done in a way where you're glorifying God. You're glorifying the life that He gave you. And now for more practical things, candles. I know this is a basic one. Heated blankets,
baths, silence in general. That's a great one. Just take a moment to be quiet, even if you can't make it outside. Just silence. Don't talk to someone. Don't listen to anything. Don't watch anything. Just sit there in silence
and observe it. If there is noises going around, just observe those noises. If you can't think of anything to think about, or if you have so many things to think about that your mind is being overstimulated, just hear the sounds. Right now, I hear the chirping of birds. I hear the rustle of a chipmunk in the tree. Things like that.
Like, I hear a skier coming super fast down the hill.
But if you're going for more of like but I want something to do at night to give myself a break, or during the day to give myself a break, I strongly encourage taking a bath, with a candlelit bath with music, scrolling on Pinterest.
You can even do showers. If you don't have a bath, that's fine.
Yeah, listen to music. Just put your music on if you have a speaker, if you're in the shower, or if you don't, if you're getting in a bath, you can have it in your earphones,
and just make it vibes.
Have candles,
steamy shower, get some eucalyptus like oil for the shower. We had that once. A scalp scrub, a little leave-in conditioner.
And the best part about this is it really doesn't have to take a long time. Like, I know you picture a bath and you're like, ugh, that's a lot of work. It has to fill up. You have to get in it. Like, really? No. It doesn't take a lot. Like, I literally did it in 20 minutes last week before we went to the beach house. Like, really fast.
Yeah, and really, it's just the hardest part is deciding to do it.
Yeah,
getting into doing it. That's why I'm saying you have to put aside time and you have to make a list of like, these are the things I want to do. And Pinterest has great ideas. If you want to watch our vlogs, you can see what we do.
We've been
on
doing,
the daily basis. We do it like basically we live seasonally, so
we'll always have a seasonal book to read, a seasonal activities to do,
or like a list.
Out.
We'll like plan out before the season, like before Lent. I'll even like write down we call them Lenten leisures before Lent.
Yeah.
Like tea at night with bread and butter, because even during Lent, when it's like the sacrificial season, God doesn't want you to be unhappy. He wants you to unite your sufferings and your little self-denials.
Because he was not bummed about having to carry the cross. In fact, he was overjoyed. And that's the craziest part about it. And that's the craziest part about Lent.
That's why that part in the Passion is so touching, when he hugs the cross.
When he hugs the cross, and when he looks at Mary and he says, I make all things new. Even though he was going through all this, he was enjoying it. And
so even when you have hard times, first of all, remember that God, usually hard times are followed by the highs. Lows are followed by highs.
Desolation and consolation come hand in hand. All those things.
Yeah, always.
And I feel like this podcast is taking a turn, but maybe this is what God wanted me to talk about today.
Yeah, honestly, we didn't really have that much of a plan because we didn't have time to sit down and think about it. Also, when
Cormac hurt himself, we kind of were just thrown off.
And something else that we've done is getting a Disneyland pass. So, like, if you know you're going to be spending money on stuff to do every week, maybe consider something like that.
That
That's
you
like,
can just
it's kind of like a
invest.
subscription to fun. That's what we've always said. It's like, yeah, it's really expensive, but we have chosen to spend our money. We save pretty much all year
To
and
get the next, to renew our
and to
pass.
renew our pass, and we have decided that's worth it for us because we feel safe there.
So, like, for
and
example,
we feel
if you
we have a good time, and it's also so close to our house that we can just go and stay there for like 2 hours on a Tuesday night and get dinner and dessert and hang out with
we're
our
spending time with
sisters.
our sisters, which that's another thing. If we get so caught up in doing stuff, my hands are starting to get a little bit chilly here, but if you get so caught up in doing stuff that we stop talking to our family, I start like always being wired in, and I'm not talking to my family, I'm not checking in with other people. So setting time, also times where you can just enjoy a meal with your family, or go to Disneyland or something like that. For example, if you like going to Yogurtland, set Tuesday night Yogurtland night. Make that your thing, you know? Like, get together with the people you love,
because
and be
you
like,
already know
okay.
you're going to be spending money on food, probably. Most likely you're going to spend money on
So just
food,
make it more
or like on
intentional,
something.
and make it more of like a, we're going to do this.
And make it more of a routine, so it's something to look forward to and to get you through
The
whatever
week.
hard times
And
you have.
and I stress again, I'm not saying on the weekend, I'm not saying Friday night, let's go out. I'm saying Tuesday. Let's
Monday,
have an
Tuesday.
aside morning.
Yeah, like, so I'll just walk you through our week. On Mondays, we do Monday movies. Tuesdays, we do Disneyland. And then on Wednesdays, we babysit. And I love babysitting because it's
and
such a chill time.
and it is
we
a
watch
chore.
movie with
Like,
the kids,
at
and
the
it's so nice.
don't get me wrong, everyone who's been a babysitter knows, like, there's chore parts of it. Like, you have to clean up, you have to
Feed them
feed
dinner, you have
baths,
to,
all
you have
those
to
things.
watch them, you have to break up fights,
But
whatever.
but it's fun, and it's especially fun because you're around people you love, and just and being with little kids. If
That's
you have
why,
little
like,
kids in your life, just enjoy their presence to the
Mhm.
fullest. It's awesome. It's
And
awesome
just-
to have someone so carefree in your life.
and just your family in general. And it's hard for me to come up with practical things right now because
This is such an abstract concept.
main topic we're trying to stress here is like, just take time in this moment to enjoy this moment.
So another way that I've been romanticizing life is I read books, and then I'll make a playlist for those books, and it makes you just enjoy the experience so much more.
And also audiobooks.
Audiobooks.
I used to be against
Great
audiobooks. I used to think they were cop out, not really reading. But
yeah, but lately I'm busy with college. I have stuff to be doing. I'll put in my audiobook
also
after I work
sometimes
out.
when you just get so, you're always reading random stuff for school or like whatever studying.
I don't feel like putting the effort in to read. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I'll
you just put in your audiobook. I can knit. I can do my nails.
I can make myself a meal. So one of my favorite things to do is just put in my audiobook at lunchtime and make myself a market salad or something. And what's the word, like, what is it, like,
cathartic.
Therapeutic. The therapeuticness of making a meal while listening to a story, it's just like, it feels like such a nice break in my day, and it's only like 15 minutes after I've done school, and it already picks me up. So this is what we're talking about, just like ways to make your day more vibes.
It's the only way to describe it.
It's the only way to describe it.
And also, like, if you can't buy stuff, like for us, we only like to spend our money on food like once a week. So then we'll just try to making food and baking and making our own cooking and baking an experience that we like.
Like, we make tuna melts, and we look up, like, okay, let's try to make a McChicken from home.
Yeah.
And we'll just do that for like an hour before
make
dinner.
it fun by switching things up and getting new, right? Or like at the beginning of the season, like we said, we'll get like fall recipes to make. We'll do like grilled cheese and
or winter recipes.
If you guys want more practical recommendations for books and movies to watch that are cozy, you can watch our seasonal videos because we have a lot of seasonal videos where we tell you like what books we're reading and what movies we're watching during that time of life, or like what we're baking and
like we have Lenten videos where we show how we're cooking and having tea and
also
listening to music.
I think another point that I want to add is being creative is a big part of filling my cup and having
and I think it's a big part of everyone's cup, because we were made in the image and likeness of God. He created the earth. We like creating little things. We like creating layouts.
It doesn't even have to be something like
that
artistic.
Impresses everyone else.
It can just even be like even learning something like skiing or sports like that. Like my sister has been doing tennis lessons and ballet on her, like she works.
That's her like fun on weekdays,
and she will go after work to take ballet classes and take tennis classes, and I think that's something that you could do too. Like,
and that's very inspirational to see her doing that. Like,
and you don't even have to like take classes. You could just go with your siblings, your friends, and just be like, let's go play tennis on Tuesday nights. You know, because there's usually public courts. You could do basketball too, or like stuff like that. You know, but
And also fires. Make use of these seasons where
Fires.
a fire is appropriate and it's not too hot.
Mhm.
And especially when it's cloudy outside, you don't have the opportunity to go outside and look at the blue sky because it's not blue.
Mhm.
Sit by a fire, have some tea, have some hot cocoa,
Hot water bottles, heaters,
heated blanket, reading a book. I tell you, doesn't get better than that.
a
Okay,
warm drink and a snack.
just
Yes.
especially when you're like, okay, I'm literally sitting under this heated blanket with my book until I get bored of reading.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people don't have the time to do that, but if you do, take that time and do it because it's so nice to just be like, I'm just gonna let all my muscles relax under this heated blanket right now, and I'm gonna let my mind relax, and that's that.
Yeah, and just doing little things with your hands like knitting and sewing
And get sticker sheets and just make layouts with stickers, and it's so fun. That was the medic. I hope someone didn't get hurt.
a lot of people have been getting hurt today.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a day for getting hurt. I don't know what's happening. What I do this for everything. I'm like, okay, next week I'm gonna have a lot of exams. Let's find a book where the main character is just
doing
a
school
school
studying.
whiz.
Yeah. Or like when we were last year when we were here, I read the Nancy Drew skiing book. That was a great one. Or
Last year I read Angel on Skis
by Betty Cavana.
Good one.
Great book. I love to find vintage books, especially because they're always
wholesome
so
and
cute.
inspiring.
Adoration.
That's
a great one.
Emanating graces, and you don't need to pray like super prestigiously. You know what I mean? I know everyone thinks they need to be praying a bunch of rosaries, reading a bunch of books, getting advanced
That's
therapists.
one of
It's
our
not about
that's
you.
one of our 2020 5 goals is to just do more mental practice. Sit in,
Yeah.
And mental prayer, it sounds like something that's hard or like people try to complicate it. Really, all it is just sitting with Jesus
your thoughts
and being quiet. Like you can even your thoughts, if they're wandering, that's okay because Jesus is just there with you. And if you're aware of His presence,
there
and you
is
keep calling your mind back. That's okay.
There's emanating graces in adoration in when you're in the presence of the Eucharist. That means there's graces coming off of God going into you. Like you don't need to do anything. They just come into you. They make your life easier.
Yeah, this
They
is
make
something
everything
that,
more helpful.
Me and my like all the homeschoolers, all our siblings in our family are just really
We call it
passionate about
radiation
because,
therapy.
because of our mom, and I guess, and because
we grew up going to adoration every day for a lot of the time.
Yeah, when we were in grade school homeschooling, we would go to adoration every day, and we just realized how peaceful it is. Like it's something that I feel bad for people that don't get to have the thing
or have an
the feeling
experiment.
of walking out of adoration and just being like
Life feels like it's been lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah, you just feel so like at
free,
peace
and you can be in there.
quiet.
There's sometimes where I'm in there and I'm like, oh, this is boring. Like I'm sorry.
It's hard.
God, it's just hard for me to like look at you and try to focus on you and focus and just sit here in silence. And I'm not thinking about myself. I'm not thinking about my phone. All these things,
or like
not getting distracted.
I have to do. But then the longer you're in there, when you leave, you go into the outside world and you just realize, like, wow, that just
God is carrying everything.
Myself so much.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's very, very beautiful thing. It's actually one of my New Year's resolutions to spend 10 minutes of day doing mental prayer, which I know that sounds puny because I used to go to adoration 1 hour every day, but like these days it's been so hard for me to just quiet my mind. Like everyone in my family knows I'm always humming something. My brain is always moving a million miles an hour, and I'm just trying to
I'm always like trying to get on to the next thing. So me giving advice on this is kind of fresh, but it's like
it's not really advice. It's
a community effort. It's
Alcoholics Anonymous, but for productivityists,
recovering productive people,
addicts
Anonymous. We're just trying to like.
So this is kind of all over the place, but basically what we're saying is, Hygge and inspiration and aesthetic and God all come hand in hand, and it's all something that everyone can achieve and attain, no matter what your life is.
Because romanticizing your life, it's come to be like sometimes people see it as something superficial online, but really, to me, it has been like that's why I love this YouTube channel so much, and even like social media in general. I find I really appreciate all of that is because you can just. It's like a whole nother realm of being thankful and taking in the moment and just savoring it, and you can like take photos and
social
really
media.
Social media and like our YouTube channel, like that's why I love it because I can really show you guys and share it with other people, and
it helps you appreciate the moment even more.
And even when I'll be like in hard times and I'm filming, I'll look back on the videos and be like, that was a nice time. Like you know, it makes you appreciate
life for all of its ups and downs.
Yeah.
And
also share and find community too. So that's a nice part of it.
yeah, and let's wrap this up. So first of all, in the comments, leave down below in the comments. Let's treat this as a college discussion board. How about everyone replies twice to two replies at least to two of the comments, and one initial response that is at least 150 words saying what your favorite thing to do to make your life more hygge every week is. And if you leave that down below, I'll know you're a real one, because that means you just watched 35 plus minutes.
Yeah, over 30 minutes of us chatting about
random. I don't even know where this podcast went, but I think it went. I think it went a nice place. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and I did. I certainly did.
Yeah, I certainly did. And yeah, so leave down below what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're doing,
what you're doing to fill your cup, to ground yourself in God, ground yourself in gratefulness,
and to find hygge. I also recommend reading the book Hygge, the little book of hygge. Audiobook is so like,
and the audiobook is read by the author.
It's read by the author, and it has like music in it, and it has all basically everything that we didn't say in this podcast. He talks about like
all the practical things,
like how to
sweaters, textures, things like that. Like,
and he talks about like every little thing that goes into the Danish art of hygge, which is actually has made them very, very happy culture.
Yeah, I think Denmark is like the happiest country because they practice hygge. So
and basically, yeah, hygge is just something we have found really important in our life, especially with Lent coming up. Everything.
It's time to detach from the superficial consumption and quick satisfaction and start getting into more of the long-term, just gratitude, slow living, appreciation moment. That's the era that we're going into with Lent. So we hope you picked something up from this podcast. You found some comfort, some inspiration to try to romanticize your life in a more slow, mindful way. And that's all for today.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and
stay tuned for more vlogs, more podcasts to come. I hope you've been enjoying. Leave a thumbs up if you leave thumbs.
Leave a thumbs up if
you're enjoying our podcast so far. Leave down below some recommendations for podcast topics, because that's always hard for us to come up with. And also, like I said, discussion board. Okay,
yeah,
2 replies at least.
What do you do to make your life hygge, cozy, to fill your cup?
What fills your cup enjoyable?
That's really what I want to know.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to wrap it up because it's time for lunch, and I'm starving, and then we're gonna hit the slopes for the rest of the day.
All these skiers, and get down the hill and go eat lunch. You can see our view now that we're done filming. Ah, gosh. So we have skier. Can you see any mountains around here? No, you can't. We're pretty much.
We're at the bottom of the mountain, so.
Can you see, like, there's the snow? We're just sitting on snow right now.
But we have our waterproof bibs on, so it's okay.
Yeah, so thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Come back for more.
Love ya.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.